This is the stoic, protective, and authoritative Abis. He has an Egyptian style going on, as he is a jackal and has the Ankh symbol for a staff, along with the pharaoh accessories on the sides of his head. He was made for the sole purpose of protecting all the tunes in Garden View, in case if things got a little out of hand. He has 2 hearts, meaning he is a main tune. He has 1 skill check, 5 movement speed, 5 stamina, 1 stealth, and 3 extraction speed. Which sort of makes him sort of like the best distractor, if one could say. That might be a little exaggerative. His first ability is called a God's Wrath, where this tune will charge forever at the nearest twisted and uses his staff to knock them back 20 meters and stun them for 10 seconds. To clarify, if used on a main, the meters will drop down to 10 and the stun time will drop down to 5. This ability does not work on lethals. So yeah, with Abis being the protector of all tunes, he's obviously gonna fight back. His second ability is called Eye of Horus, where this tune can create a barrier around all other living tunes for 20 seconds, but Abis is forced to stay stationary for those 20 seconds. So for example, Abis will create shield barriers around all living tunes, but has the risk of being attacked by a twisted. So it's best to use that second ability more wisely. Oh, and Abis also had a tune handler. Yes, I know only Dandy and the other regular mains are supposed to have tune handlers, but just let me do this. Since Abis was the protector of all the tunes in Garden View, he took his job pretty seriously, to the point where he was basically gatekeeping all the tunes from the children. Arthur and Delilah saw this as a very major problem, so in order to solve it, they hired one young man who barely reached the age of 21, and his name was Ethan Sullivan. Ethan was a nice young man and even had his way around people's emotions and how to get through to them. He was basically a therapist. Ethan taught Abis to not be so protective of the other tunes. Though the reason he's so overprotective of the tunes is because even though he was made to be stoic, he actually has one fear, is failing his purpose and losing the only people he considers as his real friends. Despite being stoic and authoritative, he's afraid he'll just lose them all. He'll sometimes even look and sound stoic as if he doesn't care, even though in reality, he deeply cares. He only acts that way to make himself look presentable and inspiring. Twisted Abis. Oh boy, I have a lot to explain about this one. I made Twisted Abis to be kind of a special Twisted, because you can only encounter him on his own floor, which is the Egyptian exhibit. And you can only encounter him alone by himself, is because he is a literal boss fight. Upon chasing a tune, he will momentarily stop and charge up before attempting to lunge and strike at any nearby tune. And if you decide to be an idiot and stand in front of a machine while he's charging up, then he will lunge forward and attack the machine. And that very machine you stood in front of will break, which will add even more steps to completing the floor, as you have to fix the machine and start extracting after. There's also the Eye of Ra debuff, where this effect will drain a tune's stamina constantly, as if you're feeling your life being sucked out of you. And no, this is not like the Tired debuff that Twisted Astro gives out. It's completely different. The Tired debuff makes you consume stamina faster, while the Eye of Ra debuff consumes your stamina even when you're not running. During panic mode, he will summon sand jackals to chase down all the toons, and these jackals always know where the toons are. Oh yeah, and if you were to fail a skill check, Abis would immediately ignore a distracting toon and just sink into quicksand. He will then use this quicksand to teleport to the toon who failed the skill check. And he won't just slowly come out of the ground. No. He will lunge at you from the ceiling. Upon teleporting, a small circle of sand will appear right above you, and you have a 2-second window to get out of there before he lunges at you. And upon hitting you, he will knock you off the machine and send you flying, which leads you to having to mash a certain button to recover from the attack. Now here's the big question. How did Abis become twisted? Well, my current theory is how toons become twisted is likely because of stress. For example, Gordy became stressed when he couldn't remember his parents' faces. Bobette became stressed because she felt like they weren't going to have a perfect Christmas. Bassie became stressed when she felt like she was going to get replaced by Coco. As a reminder, these are my theories. I don't know if they're actually real, but you guys probably have better theories. So for Abis, he became twisted due to the loss of his fellow toons. He practically lost so many of his friends that at a certain point, he just broke. So basically, his greatest fear came true. But not only that, upon turning twisted, he unfortunately killed Ethan.